What is up, my dudes? It's your boy Musha, back again with another video. This is my second video in the set of Ghostface videos that I'm making. I think there's going to be 3. So the final video will cover cameos. Here we're going to be covering advanced concepts. So we're going to be going over the game plan for Ghostface and optimal combos that you can do with him. So just like my other advanced guides, I'm not going to go over basic buttons and strings and stuff like that here. We're going to just cut straight to it. Ghostface is a grappler. So he is meant to do this, to grapple you and then get combos from it, do damage, restand you, do it again, right? Ad infinitum. So that's the idea. He's supposed to do that over and over and over again and just be really annoying with his mix like that. I see a lot of people playing him in somewhat like a way like this. They'll just basically mash and mash and mash, soft stuff out, get Movado, do this, launch him back up, restand him, go for the overhead, do this again. Right, and then start like zoning you, things like that. So like, and that's cool, but Ghostface doesn't do 50-50s better than anyone else. That's not what he does better than any other character. What he does do, whenever you're thinking about a way to optimize a character, you ask yourself, well, what does this character do better than anyone else? And what he does better than anyone else is what you saw. He can do any kind of combo into a restand. So if I do this, for example, right, I can restand you. Anything that I juggle you in the air, I can restand you. And he's also basically the first real grappler that we have in this game. So like things like this, he can grapple you. And just like Reiko, he can get a full combo from his command grab. See? So that's super, super good. And when you play him in that way, now you're playing to his strength. So rather than try to change the character and play him a different way, it's better to try to amplify what he's already good at. Right? So off of anything, you can get a grab. Right? Restand, and they gotta guess again. And that's the best way to get your mileage with Ghostface, is to do that. So he always wants to be up close. He wants to be here. Here he has a decent button if he's from this range. So he's also pretty dangerous in the neutral. So his best poke is going to be forward 2. Down 3 is not bad either. Down 1 is pretty bad. You're going to get mashed on a lot if you try to take your turn with down 1. So down 3 is really going to be the better poke for you. Let's go over some quick punishes. I'm going to go over some combos in this one. Your fastest punish is stand 1. But it's a little tough to get meterless combos depending on your cameo. You might do something like this into another restand. So that's with a stand 1. If you have Movado, for example, you could do this. And then go ahead and restand them. It's a little bit less, but you can do that. Same cost, 1 cameo. And then from stand 1, you can also EX teleport, right? And that's a restand for 31. You could also do this. That's a restand for 29 with no cameo. Another thing too, people are gonna mash on you like you cannot believe. So, because that's what I've encountered non-stop with Ghostface. It's just people constantly mashing, and like, so you want to really take advantage of this whiff punish. You can do stand 1 backdash into forward 1-2. That's huge, and a confirm that you can get off of that is going to be this. You can do this combo, for example. It's an easy one. Into a restand. If you want to get more optimal, you can do this. See? So when you do that, you can get 39 for 1 bar into a restand, and that's only 1 bar, 1 cameo. So I see a lot of people going for this route. So I see a lot of people going for that route. That only does 37, so it's something good to keep in mind. And also as well, there's another version with the back three restand. And this one does 48. So it's pretty damaging. That's 2 bars for 48%. So it's, you know, pretty good if you want to cash out. Keep in mind that doesn't leave them restood because you're using both cameo, and you can't really land the back three after that jump 2-2 because the gravity's just too high at that point. So I mean, that's great if you want to do like a game closing scenario. You can end in that, and see, so when you do that, that's 44%. That's still only 1 bar. So I think that's really, really good. 44% for only 1 bar. And if you don't do the rush at the end, and instead you do the restand, then that's going to be about 43, 42. So, I mean, I think that's really great. That's probably, if you're going to spend a bar, that's probably your most optimal route to get damage with them, is like that. So 1 bar, 42, 43% into a restand is amazing. So that's, and that kind of shows Ghostface's strength. So there you see where he shines, you know, more than a lot of the rest of the cast. So that's why that's going to be your main kind of like fishing with the main killer. So like I said, if you punish with this, you can go to EX Telly, you're going to get the most damage that way. If you're going to spend 2 bars, then you're going to want to go the other route with the EX run into 1. So I'm focusing on Scorpion cameo right now. I'll go over more cameos in the next video, but for right now, this is just covering, you know, his optimals and things like that. So that's his optimal there. Now, from his stand 2 punish, which honestly, I think this is the most realistic punish. If somebody does something unsafe, you're gonna punish with this button. So an easier combo route, this is kind of like the standard just go Ghostface alone combo without worrying about cameo, is this one. Do 2-2 grab, jump 2-2, forward 4, jump 2-2, and then restand. So that's 23%. It's not a whole lot of damage, but it does lead to a restand. And that guarantees you that's plus 14. So that guarantees for most of the cast anyway, guarantees back 2. And it guarantees back 3, which is another mid. So you can jail into your stand 1. They can't really do anything about that. They can't even duck. Like if I put him to duck, you'll see that it actually jails. So if we do that same combo, he can't duck in time because he's jailed into that button. So that forces them to block, and then now you can get your mind move going. So in a way, this variation is also somewhat of a cancel character if you want to think about it that way. Because what you could do is when they get up, you can do this into the command grab. And then you go ahead and get your pressure started again. You can do it again. And that's kind of the idea with the OG killer. Ghostface actually doesn't really need bar to get damage. See, so when you do that route, that's 33% meterless. So he doesn't really need bar. He spends it mostly. You're going to want to save your bar, I think, for swapping killers is the most efficient way to do it. And the reason why is because when you're swapping killers, the killer can't be comboed. And then when you swap killers, you're going to want to go to a grab, and I'll show you why. So this is what you got to be careful with the other killers, right? Because let's just say that I'm swapped over and I'm Enforcer. So if you take too long, they're around for 12 seconds. But if you take too long, then they're going to switch. And they might switch in the middle of you doing a combo like this. And then you drop your combo. And then what do you do then, right? So to avoid that, instead of trying to stay as much time as you can in the killer, right, and then doing stuff like this, instead of doing that, what you're going to want to do is just mix them up with the other killer, but go for this grab, right? Because if you can go for this grab, you can swap back to the original killer, and if you have the right cameo for it, you can actually get some pretty good damage. I'll show you right now. See? So I missed the last hit, but that's 25. That's a good chunk and change. If I would go ahead and land them with a restand, it would be 25, and then they'd be restood from a throw, and now you're back in the original killer, which is exactly what you want. You want to switch back to him in a way that isn't detrimental to, you know, your whole game plan. See? So you can do that as well, and then go for the setup. See, so I dropped that grab at the end there, but you can see that like that sequence, that's something realistic that you can land. And if you notice there in the combo, when Scorpion wasn't available, I swapped killers. So I swapped over to the assassin in this case, right? And the idea is because if I can, while they're restood, if I can swap to another killer, then now I have access. First off, I mean, I'm invulnerable to combos, so I can't get comboed. And then the second thing is that now I'm changing up my moveset, so it makes me less predictable, right? So let's just say that I do that and I swap over to I'm the assassin killer, right? Well, now they have to guess between, if I do this, I can do a knife cancel. If they try to poke on me, let's just say I do this, and then you can grab them. And the grab leads to the original killer. See, in a restand. See? So that's really good. That grab alone was already, I think it was like 25%. So I mean, that's for no bar. You can get more if you decide to cash out. But that's why I was saying you want to save your meter for doing that. So I think you're better off keeping the bar and then using the bar to swap killers, so that way you get comboed less often as a safety net. What you want to do as well when you're playing Ghostface is, you want to use this run to go ahead and get command grabs, because he doesn't actually tick throw. He doesn't tick off of anything except for his down 1 and his down 3. Those are the only things he ticks off of. He only ticks off of down 1 and down 3. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to do things like, for example, if you want it to tick from here, you just have to do an extra step. You do this, run, and then you can tick. And if you do the run fast enough, it gets more difficult to react to. And another thing too is that when you're doing your cancels, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go like this, take 3 years, and then grab them. That's not going to work. You want to make the cancels unpredictable. So when you're going to go ahead and try to get in and start your pressure, and you can start your pressure from here. All you got to do is land that on block, and that's fine. It's just like Ermac. Just land a hit, and your cancel pressure started. So if you do that, you can land a hit and first check them. Do the full string, see what they do, right? This is -7. If they respect you and you're -7, then at that point you know, hey, you know, this player is probably not familiar. He's going to respect me more. So then you can start to do things like this. You can get away with doing this, grabbing them, full combo, restand, grab them again. Restand, right? Grab them again. See? So I meant to do back 3 there, but you get the idea. When you do it like that, you're depriving the opponent of their ability to wake up, because they're constantly standing. And that's basically Ghostface's game plan. So you can do your cancel like do this. If you always do this, right? If you always do this cancel, then they're going to start poking after those first 2 hits. So then do this. Do after 1 hit. Just like any other cancel character, do that. Right? Then go straight into this, because sometimes if you do this and then you go for the overhead, like a lot of people do, then they're going to expect that. But if you restand them, you're already going for the command grab, or you restand them, you're going for the overhead. Remember that when you land this restand, you're plus 15. So this, they have to hold it. When you do this, they don't have enough time to react to it. Or not react to it, they don't have enough time to interrupt you. So you have a free mix, overhead or command grab, right? So, and that's going to be how you're going to get the most effectiveness with the default killer, Ghostface. Another thing that you can do as well is you can use the prone stance, right? And so what's nice about the prone stance is that this stance is a low throw. So they can't duck or block that. They have to jump, right? So if you combine that with a cameo, like Scorpion, where you do this, now they can't jump. So if they try to jump, if you end it in this, go for prone, they try to jump, they're gonna get caught. But then you can also get a combo if they get caught with a throw, right? So let me show you that right now. See? Get a full combo. Go for a command grab. And you go from mid that time. See? So that's kind of the idea. So when you do that, and that's actually a sequence that you can do with the default killer, that it's pretty much guaranteed. The only thing they can do is armor. They can try to armor through it if they have bar. So that's what you got to watch out for. But if you end any one of your sequences like this, that's guaranteed. See? You can land that throw, and then you can go ahead and like combo from it again. Now the other thing that you can do as well is that you can try to, when you do this, you can go ahead and armor. If you don't have cameo, you can spend bar. It's expensive, but you can spend bar on it. See? And now you can do your combo. You can go for this time. Right? Get your combo that way. Go for that. And that's kind of the idea. So you can see that he has a setup where he can, similar to Havoc, right? He can put you in a situation where if you don't armor, he gets 2 combos back to back, guaranteed. And I mean, imagine if you just finished a long combo and you ended it in that, right? So if you did a combo that did like 40%, like the one that I showed you earlier in the start of the video, and you end it in that low prone, that's another combo that you're gonna, you know, that's another chunk of change that you're gonna take out, and they have to spend their bar to get rid of it. So that's the best way to play this default killer. So now we're gonna move on to something else with the other killers. Now that we've kind of established how it is that you're gonna handle switching back and forth, let me show you what each killer does really, really well. So with Enforcer, Enforcer changes out a few things, right? Just like I said before. And a good way to take advantage of it is to use his safe overhead. So when you use that move, you can get free mix, because instead of doing 1, 2, 3, you can do 1, 2 overhead. And they're both 23 frames, so it ends up being an actual, you can't fuzzy that, you have to react to it. So, and that, they both lead to combos, right? Because if I do this, I can get a combo off that. And then if I do this as well, and actually you don't want to end it in this, you want to at least do 2 hits. So you have better hit advantage. And it leaves you closer. So I could do something like, if I go like this, right? And then now I'm in their face again, they gotta hold another mix. So I don't recommend finishing this, because then you leave them down on the ground, and then now, you know, they can wake up in armor and stuff like that. It's better to keep them restood if you can. And the damage you get from the last hit, it's not really that worth it. So, because if we see without doing that, like this, right, that's 23, that's 239, it was 232 before that, so you don't even get a % difference. So for less than a % difference, you're better off just keeping your advantage of being there in their face. So, now, the other, so you can combo from the low, like you saw, right? You can also combo from the overhead. So if I go like this, same route, see? So it's the exact same thing. And they get similar damage too. If I go like this, see, that's 237, and the low was 232. It's super similar, less than a % difference. So you can mix them like that, and that's going to be super effective because it's safe either way. So you have a safe 50-50 that's safe for you but not for them. And that's all meterless, right? Now, the other thing that you can do as well with the Enforcer is his new string, right? He has a 6-frame punish. So he has this. You can punish characters where most of the cast can't. This makes them the, I I believe, the 4th character that can punish -7 moves as long as he's an enforcer. So you can punish that. The range for a 6-frame move is not terrible. I mean, it's not the best, but so you've got that. And then as well, you can also combo off of both moves. You go like this. Right, and then now you can go to another mix. So that's 27% off of that. And you can combo off of the overhead too. Right, and that's 24% off of that. So you have 50-50. He becomes, you treat Enforcer like the 50-50 version of him. And he has some special moves, but honestly, there's not much of a point in spending the bar, right? There's not a whole lot that, you know, that you're getting from that when you can just do that meterlessly. But you could spend the bar if you so desire. You can go ahead and if you land like a 2-2 punish, or if you land like this, for example, you can do this, right? You can go, you can do that, or you can go like, my bad. Launch him again, restand him. Oof, it's a little bit of a tight window, but you can restand him there, and then that'll do about 30% as well too. If you do the command grab, if you do this, this actually pops them up, so you can keep comboing them. And any pop-up that pops them up like that, you can get your 2-2 grab afterwards. See, that's 28. So they both do like roughly 30 for spending the bar. So it's not super worth it to do it like that. If you are going to spend bar, you're better off just spending it this way. Going back to the OG killer. See? And then you're getting the same damage, and now you don't have to worry about being cut off mid-combo. So that's what you're going to do with Enforcer. You're going to basically... And then you can also end things if, for example, if the gravity's too high for a back 3, you can end them in the shoulder charge. So to show you what that might look like, let's just say I go like this. I could shoulder charge at the end of that, right? And then that's how you would go ahead and use Enforcer. Now the timing for this is I'm doing 1-2-3 cameo all together like that. So I literally do 1-2-3 cameo, like if it was a string. See, and then now you can go ahead and go back to your mix. And the same thing here. If I do 1-2 down forward 4 cameo. And that's the same timing. See? So you can go ahead and do that. And you always want to try to end them with back 3 as the restand. And the good thing is now you can do back 3, and you can do 2 hits of the Rekka to kind of have the most damage that you can get from that. See? Now, moving on to Assassin. Assassin also has some stuff that you can do with it. So with Assassin, you gain a projectile. This is the only variation of Ghostface where it might make sense to end it in something that leads them further away. Because generally you want to be close with Ghostface, but when you have Assassin, it could help you if you want to try to like play like more of like a lane game. You could do that. You could try to zone them out with your knives, especially because he throws the projectiles pretty fast. So fast that they actually combo to one another. So now with Assassin, something to go over is that this character also gains kind of like cancel, similar to the run with the other variation. If I do this, you can dash up. So you can go, see, you can do this. You can go like 2-2, right, and then grab them. You already saw the grab does a good chunk of change. Right, restand, and that's 25%, and now you're in their face. See, and if you wanted to restand and then cash out, you can go for this instead. And when you do that, that does 27%. So I recommend just stopping at the restand, but if it's a game-winning scenario, you can go ahead and do that. And the way that you want to play Assassin is basically like a cancel character. Since you can backdash and forward dash out of cancels, you can do things like you can do back 3, cancel, and she even gains that new overhead string, which is really good for whiff punishing pokes. Like if you do this and backdash, you'll catch somebody trying to poke you. So if I take Ghostface and I put him to poke, right? And I go, for example, like this. See, you can do that. And as well, the assassin also gains another restand, which is really, really nice. So you can restand them with the powder instead of restanding them where the mist, instead of restanding them with your back three. So that's great because that means you can special cancel into a restand, which is really, really good. And something that I didn't mention is that with Enforcer, when you do their Rekka, it also restands, but the Rekka is just less reliable than the back three. But that is something else that you can do. You can also restand them. So for example, if I happen to land something like this, I can restand them with that. See? So, and if I combo it, you can restand them again. Well, actually, if you do it twice, it knocks them away. But you can still restand them with a knife. Whoop. See? So you can do that. I'm not sure if you can land 2-2 grab. Let's find out. I do this. Oh, you can. But it drops the combo. See, so that's actually a perfect example of why you don't want to stay in one killer too long, because you can lose your momentum that way. So what I recommend is, when you're in Assassin, try to use the cancels to get a grab in. And then you get your damage from the grab. See? With the throw. So that's one way to do that. Go ahead and doing it that way. So that's how you're going to take the most advantage with Assassin, is by doing it like that. And then as well, you can zone with the projectiles. And if somebody's trying to come in on you, you can also Kano Ball. But mostly I would mainly use that to end combos if you want to try to zone them and play the lane game. Because if you do like a regular bread and butter, and you do this, and Kano Ball, then now you can zone them. You're in the perfect spot to be able to do that. So that's how you're going to get the most for that. And as far as the cancels, Assassin actually has a more damaging bread and butter, because Assassin can continue. Regularly, you would do 2-2 grab right into this whole combo. But the nice thing with Assassin is that Assassin can actually do 2-2-2 and then do 2-2 grab. It's really tight. See if I can show you guys. There we go. See? So Assassin can do that. So they can cancel meterlessly if you're launched into the air with the string. And as well, Assassin, if you're doing something and you hold the if you hold R2 during the cancel, see, so Assassin can actually go and continually combo afterward. You might be able to combine that cancel with this for a lengthier combo. See, like so. So you can go ahead and do that. You can get more damage from the Assassin's regular, from the typical 2-2 grab conversion with Assassin. So that is a pretty tight window though, so definitely practice that. And it's kind of the same story. You want to try to go ahead and use your cancels, like I was saying, to go ahead and get the grab. And that basically covers the 3 variations. And I think that covers Ghostface game plan pretty well. I'm going to do another video on cameos, but if you guys have any other questions about how to play him and things like that, please let me know in the comments. This has been the second part of the Ghostface guide. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Be easy.